Elon Musk has basically made the case that he's a defrauded co-founder and investor who thought this was going to be a charity.
I think it's a bit of sour grapes from Elon.
안녕하세요, 제니입니다. 여러분, 요새 일론 머스크가 샘 알트만과 오픈 AI를 상대로 초대형 소송전을 벌이고 있습니다. 근데 이 재판이 단순한 감정 싸움이 아니라 오픈 AI의 IPO는 물론이고 앞으로 AI 산업의 룰 자체를 바꿔버릴 수도 있다는 얘기까지 나오고 있는데요. 근데 오늘 인터뷰에서 재밌는 표현이 나옵니다.
So again, there are no sympathetic characters.
There are no sympathetic characters. 여기서 sympathetic이라고 하면 감정이입이 되는, 공감이 가는 이라는 뜻입니다. 그래서 직역해보면 공감 가는 인물이 없다. 즉 누구 하나 딱히 응원하고 싶지가 않고 양쪽 다 별로다라는 뜻인데요. 사실 보통 이런 대형 사건이 있으면 대중들이 자연스럽게 한쪽 편을 들게 돼 있는데 일론 머스크와 샘 알트만은 둘 다 워낙 강한 캐릭터다 보니까 누구 편도 들기 어렵다는 반응이 나오는 겁니다. 여러분은 일론 머스크와 샘 알트만 중에서 누구를 더 응원하시나요? 그리고 참고로 sympathetic character라고 하면 영화나 드라마에서도 정말 자주 쓰이는 표현인데요. 관객이 응원하게 되고 감정이입하게 되는 캐릭터를 뜻합니다. 예를 들어서 The villain is surprisingly sympathetic. 악역인데도 이상하게 공감이 가는 그런 캐릭터들 있죠. None of the characters are sympathetic. 등장인물들이 다 비호감이다 라는 뜻입니다. 그래서 오늘은 이 최신 인터뷰 영상을 보면서 실제 영어 비즈니스 인터뷰에서 쓰이는 고급 표현들과 함께 왜 이 재판이 중요한지 비즈니스 관점에서도 같이 살펴보겠습니다. 혹시라도 아직 제 채널을 구독하지 않으셨다면 지금 바로 구독과 알림 설정 부탁드립니다. 경제 뉴스나 이메일에 자주 나오는 비즈니스 영어 표현들이 혹시 조금 어렵게 느껴지셨나요? 이런 실제 뉴스나 비즈니스 현장에서 자주 쓰이는 영어 표현들을 자신 있게 이해하고 활용하고 싶으신 분들께 실무에서 진짜 쓰이는 비즈니스 영어 강의를 추천드립니다. 제가 직접 7년 이상 영어로 실무를 했던 경험을 바탕으로 실제 현장에서 바로 쓰이는 표현들만 쏙쏙 뽑아서 쉽게 설명드리는 유일한 강의입니다. 이 강의는 성공적으로 와디즈 펀딩을 마치고 지금은 와디즈 스토어에서 계속 판매 중입니다. 경제 금융 표현들뿐 아니라 실무 비즈니스 이메일, 회의와 협상에서 쓰이는 핵심 표현들, 그리고 원어민이 자주 쓰는 비즈니스 이디엄까지 정말 꼭 알아야 할 내용만 알차게 담았습니다. 지금 바로 확인해보세요.
OpenAI reportedly having trouble hitting some financial targets. The Wall Street Journal says that the company missed an internal goal of hitting 1 billion weekly active ChatGPT users by the end of last year. Some questions about revenue goals as well. As a result, you can check out shares of companies like Oracle. They're down sharply as that company has a $300 billion partnership to supply computer power to OpenAI. Oracle shares down by more than 6%. You can also see some of the chip makers, including NVIDIA, Broadcom, and AMD, all losing some power as well. AMD down by about 5.75%. NVIDIA and Qualcomm down by 3%. Broadcom off by about 4.5%. Joining us right now is Source's founder and Access podcast co-host, Alex Heath. And Alex, we've got a lot to talk about in this sector, but let's talk about this news of the morning just because it is moving markets at this point. How big of a concern is this, and how do you kind of gauge this volatility that we see in some of these stocks connected to OpenAI and the entire AI kind of ecosystem?
I think what you're saying is that everyone is looking for a reason to believe that these AI chip stocks are overbought. And there's maybe a legitimate argument to that. If you read the Wall Street Journal piece, yes, it's true that ChatGPT is growing less quickly than it did in the past. At the same time, I think it's true that OpenAI feels incredibly compute constrained. And I think both of those things can be true. You hear it constantly when you meet with their leaders. They talk about it all the time publicly. You see it in the product decisions they make, the things that they choose to kill, Sora, for example, which I know was covered in depth. And so I think both things can be true. I think they can be growing slower than they should, and I think they're still compute constrained.
Yeah, also just in terms of the competition coming on, ChatGPT's market share of AI traffic, I think, dropped to 86.7%, or from 86.7% to 64.5% in January when you look at year-over-year numbers. You had Gemini going from 5.7% to more than 21.5%. So, still huge amounts of traffic and growing overall share in this market. but maybe different ways of divvying up the pie. And maybe that's what investors kind of get to is there a way to make money on this? Or are we still in that spend, spend, spend and hope eventually to be the biggest players that walk out of this?
over, 너무 많이 bought, 샀다? 이 말은 지금 AI 반도체 주식들이 너무 과하게 올랐다는 뜻입니다. 금융권에서 매우 자주 쓰이는 표현인데요.
I think what you're saying is that everyone is looking for a reason to believe that these AI chip stocks are overbought.
overbought라고 하면 단순히 비싸다보다 훨씬 더 전문적으로 들리죠. 그래서 보통 투자 열기가 과열되고 그래서 실제 가치보다 가격이 많이 올라서 조정이 올 가능성이 있다는 뉘앙스로 쓰입니다. The stock looks overbought. 주식이 과열돼 보인다. 지금 막 엔비디아, AMD 같은 기업들이 AI 기대감으로 엄청나게 상승을 했는데 근데 이번에 이 오픈 AI 성장이 둔화했다는 뉴스가 나오니까 시장이 바로 거기에 반응을 했었다는 말이죠.
I think there was a risk that OpenAI was propping up this whole AI economy if we were talking maybe a year ago. That's not really the case anymore. When you see what the hyperscalers are committing, when you see what Anthropic's starting to commit, what Amazon is doing, what, Oracle is doing, et cetera. And so, yes, is OpenAI a bit of a key man risk if things wobble for them? Sure. Is it something that's going to crash all of this? I think the market has matured to your point, and so many people have gotten into the race, so many key companies with larger war chests that, the OpenAI risk is not as great, I think, as it was a year ago.
All right, let's talk about this high stakes trial that's taking place right now between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and all of OpenAI. You've been covering this for a long time. What do you think, first of all, about what's at stake here, and then the odds of how you think that plays out?
The stake is the IPO. That's the thing that OpenAI is looking at on the other side of this. You can't IPO when the entire governance structure of your company is being called into question by the world's richest and most powerful man, right? So they have to get through that. I think the other thing you can expect on the other side of this trial, if OpenAI succeeds, is Sam Altman finally gets a large equity package in the company. I want to point out that this whole time, Sam has not had direct equity in OpenAI. He's owned it indirectly through other investments, but he does not have the classic executive comp package. Kind of a governance disaster if they were to go public right now. It's very hard to make sense of where things stand. They want to clean all that up, but the trial has to get done because Elon is challenging the crux of what makes OpenAI what it is today.
But you also think that the reason he doesn't have billions that's been given to him in shares at this point is because of this trial, because they don't want to look like they are enriching Sam when Elon Musk is saying that's exactly what's happening here.
Absolutely. That's what they have to get through. They have to prove that they were, above board in how they restructured the company last year, and that then Sam on the other side of this can get his pay package. No one is a good guy here. I mean, we saw that with jury selection yesterday. The judge said it basically aloud in the court. It was very difficult to find jurors who could be impartial to these characters, right? The public sentiment around AI is very bad, and I think both companies are aware of that. We saw Sam and Greg Brockman, OpenAI's other co-founder and president, in the courtroom for jury selection, which is highly unusual for the star witnesses to be there for that day. So I think it just goes to show the stakes of this case.
스테이크는 영어권 비즈니스 뉴스에서 정말 자주 등장하는 핵심 단어입니다. 근데 많은 분들이 그냥 지분 정도로만 외우고 넘어가시는데요. 사실 원어민들은 이 단어를 훨씬 넓게 씁니다.
What do you think, first of all, about what's at stake here? And
the stake is the IPO. So I think it just goes to show the stakes of this case.
원래 스테이크라고 하면 도박에서의 판돈 개념에 가깝습니다. 즉, 이 판에서 내가 잃거나 얻을 수 있는 그런 것들이죠. 그래서 우리 돈뿐만 아니라 회사 지배권, 명성, 커리어, 투자자 신뢰나 영향력 같은 것까지도 모두 다 스테이크가 될 수 있습니다. 우리가 흔히 쓰는 이 스테이크홀더 역시 마찬가지인데요. 회사의 이해관계가 걸려있는 사람들, 즉 투자자, 직원, 고객, 파트너사 등등 전부 다 포함하는 개념이죠. 그래서 뉴스나 일상에서 모두 What's at stake here? 라고 하면 여기 뭐가 그래서 걸려있는 건데 무슨 이해관계가 있는 거야 라는 뜻입니다. The company's future is at stake. 회사 미래가 걸려있다. 이런 표현들이 정말 많이 나옵니다. 결과에 따라 뭘 잃거나 얻는 건데 라는 느낌이죠. 그리고 또 high stakes라는 표현도 굉장히 많이 씁니다.
All right, let's talk about this high stakes trial that's taking place right now between Elon Musk and Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and all of OpenAI.
예를 들어 지금처럼 이런 큰 재판을 high stakes trial라고 부르기도 하고 엄청 큰 중요한 투자를 high stakes investment라고 말할 수 있습니다. 실패하면 타격이 큰 투자라는 말이죠. 이렇게 단순히 중요하기만 한 게 아니라 실패했을 때 잃는 게 큰 상황을 말합니다. 그래서 M&A나 IPO, 정치, 대형 투자 기사에서 자주 등장하는 표현입니다.
Elon Musk has basically made the case that he's a defrauded co-founder and investor who thought this was going to be a charity. OpenAI put out a statement on X yesterday saying that he's just a frustrated commercial competitor. Can you be both of those things? And how do you think a judge will eventually view that? This judge.
I think both of those things are kind of true. I think it's a bit of sour grapes from Elon. And I think at the same time, he has a point that OpenAI started as a charity and it managed to maneuver out of that. It's still controlled by a nonprofit, but it managed to maneuver out of that. And what does that signal to the rest of the industry? Is this a playbook that other companies could do in the future if OpenAI is cleared to get away with this? I think that's a fair argument. I think at the same time, it's very clear if you look through all of this, the discovery, like I have, the depositions that have already been published, that OpenAI wanted to get out from Elon's thumb specifically because he wanted to control it. He wanted it to be part of Tesla, and he wanted to have total control of it. It's very clear from the evidence. So again, there are no sympathetic characters.
내가 못 가지니까 깎아내린다는 말입니다. 즉 질투 섞인 불만 같은 느낌이죠. 한국어로도 우리 신포도라고 하잖아요.
I think it's a bit of sour grapes from Elon.
여우가 높은 곳에 있는 포도를 바라보면서 어차피 저 포도는 셔라고 자기 합리화를 하는 이야기였죠. 이렇게 정신승리나 자기 합리화처럼 못 가지니까 괜히 평가절하하면서 별거 아닌 척하는 걸 의미합니다.
You want to handicap the outcome?
Oh, I don't know. We could leave that to the prediction markets, Andrew. I think, I was seeing last night on Kalshi that Elon's at like 40% to win. I imagine with how nuanced this case is, it lands somewhere in the middle. Probably more equity needs to go to the foundation of OpenAI, if I had to guess, which means investors maybe get a little diluted. Is it going to like completely stop this train? No, there's just too much at stake. OpenAI was already cleared by 2 attorneys general on its restructuring, which set the precedent already. But Elon's going to try to get a pound of flesh, no question, and he may be successful in that.
스포츠 베팅이나 정치 분석, 비즈니스 전망 같은 데서 매우 많이 쓰이는 표현인데요. 대부분 우리 핸디캡이라고 하면 불리한 조건, 장애를 먼저 떠올리실 수 있는데요. 영어에서는 특히 스포츠, 베팅 관련해서 아주 중요한 뜻이 하나 더 있습니다.
You want to handicap the outcome?
바로 결과를 분석해서 승산을 계산해 본다는 뜻인데요. 원래는 경마에서 시작된 말인데 말들의 실력이 다 다르니까 어떤 말은 무게를 추가로 붙이고 약한 말은 덜 불리하게 해서 경기 균형을 맞추는 데서 왔다고 합니다. 뭐 승산을 따져볼래? 결과를 한번 예측해볼래처럼 누가 우세한지, 변수는 뭔지, 승률이 어떤지 이런 결과 가능성을 계산해보는 느낌입니다. 그래서 우리 영상에서 Do you want to handicap the outcome? 누가 이길 것 같아? 판세 어떻게 봐? 라는 말이죠. 단순히 guess 해볼래? 라고 하는 것보다 더 분석적이고 뭔가 배팅이나 판세의 느낌이 더 있어요. How do you handicap OpenAI's chances here? 오픈AI 승산을 어떻게 보세요? 라는 뜻입니다. Let's handicap the Super Bowl. 슈퍼볼 판세를 한번 분석해보자 라는 뜻이죠.
But Elon's going to try to get a pound of flesh, no question, and he may be successful in that.
상대에게 큰 대가를 치르게 만들다, 복수나 압박, 보복의 느낌이 강합니다. 직역해보면 살 한 덩이를 가져가려고 한다라는 말인데요. 셰익스피어의 베니스의 상인에서 나온 표현이죠. 이런 소송에서 강하게 압박해서 최대한 뜯어내거나 큰 희생을 요구하는 것을 가리킵니다. 오늘 영상에서는 특히 실제 업계에서 자주 쓰이는 표현들이 많이 나왔는데요. 이런 표현들은 업계에서 자주 쓰이는 표현들이니까 꼭 익혀두시면 좋을 것 같습니다. 감사합니다.